And look at this. Wow, what was that? I don't know. And look at the damage.
Look. Okay, boss is hit. Hello, it's Rygers. In today's video, we will make comparison between three main consecration essences, and we will look at it which one is the best. So the first one is Anointed Brimstone, which is the fire consecration. Then we have Glamthorn Crown, which is the Radiance consecration, and the newest one it's Shattered Bank, which is the Lightning consecration. So let's begin. Let's start with Anointed Brimstone. So consecration now engulfs you in intense holy flames for 5 seconds, dealing 2113 damage per second to yourself and 44,466 damage per second to nearby enemies. Consecration damage increased by 80%. By the way, I have increased consecration damage by 6% from my charm, and I think that I never showed my charm. So let's quickly look on my charm. Here's the skills which I have, as you can see, but I can't suggest to spend platinum or even money on charm because it doesn't work. Skills are constantly changing. I didn't touch my charm for a month, and as you can see, I have here spinning shield plus 4%, but I am not using spinning shield for a month, so this is that skill. But the 6% for my consecration is the best skill, and it's nice bonus to have. Let's move to second consecration, Glamthorn Crown. Consecration now places you in a state of radiance. During this state, inflicting damage 3 times causes you to erupt with the light, dealing 27,782 damage to nearby enemies. This state lasts 5 seconds, and damage eruptions cannot occur more than once every 0.35 seconds. Let's look on our last consecration, the lightning one, Shattered Bank. Consecration now creates an area of lightning for 5 seconds that follows you, dealing 27,745 lightning damage per second to enemies within the field and inflicting them with shock. This is the important thing here, that it's inflicting the shock to the enemies because it can works well with another essences, but keep in mind that in this video we are only making comparison between the consecrations and not with other essences which can increase the damage output, of course, from the synergies. So let's start with cooldown of the Anointed Brimstone. So let's push it, and now I am taking the damage for the consecration, which by the way is what I don't like, and the cooldown is around 1 second, which is nice, so it's almost 100% uptime. Let's compare the cooldown, and it looks like that the cooldown will be very similar or maybe the same as Anointed Brimstone. 1 second. Yeah, it's 1 second. It's practically the same. Let's compare the cooldowns again, and probably the cooldown will be very similar as the other consecrations. By the way, this skill looks really nice to me. I like it the most from the visual effect, and as you saw, the cooldown was the same, so there's no difference, maybe only a little. Now let's look on the damage from Anointed Brimstone on training dummy. So let's begin, and it will be 10-second window probably, and I'm interested how high the damage will be only from the consecration. So now let's stop and let's look on the breakdown, and the damage from Anointed Brimstone is 2 million. Okay, it's not bad. Let's test the damage output on training dummy. It will be again around 10-second window, and as you can see, the Radiance damage proc, but the downside of this, let's stop it. let's look on the damage. And the damage is 1.5 million. So as you can see, it's lower than the damage from Anointed Brimstone, but the reason is that you have to 3 times hit your enemies to proc the Glamthorn Crown. So let's test it again, and now I will be using my other skills and attacks to proc it more, and we will see the difference. Okay, let's try this now. Stop. Okay. Now, as you can see, the Glamthorn Crown proc much more often. Okay, we are on cooldown, so let's stop it. And let's look on the breakdown. And now you can see the damage from the Consecration is 3,200,000. And the reason is that it procced much more thanks to my attacks, which is... So, the overall damage output from this Consecration is higher, but the downside is that you have to hit your enemy 3 times to proc it. But, on the other hand, you are not dealing damage to yourself as with the Anointed Brimstone, which burns you. Now, let's compare the damage from this Consecration with the others. So, let's start. Here we are dealing the damage and applying the shock. Okay, let's stop it and let's look on the breakdown. And we dealt 1.6 million damage, which is the lowest. But okay, not the lowest, because the Glamthorn Crown, when we didn't use any skills, was the lower. So the Anointed Brimstone dealt 2 million damage. The Glamthorn Crown, if we didn't use any skills, it dealt 1.3 million, and with skills 3.2 million. And this Shattered Bank dealt 1.6 million. So in general, we can say the damage output is the lowest. But on the other hand, as I said, we didn't use, as you can see here, any synergies essences. So it's only pure comparison between the Consecrations.
Now let's make test on real player, and for better visibility I will go to the slow motion mode. Let's start with our damage. So I am pressing my Conjuration, and as you can see, the therapy has a shield from his cat now, damage procced, but it looks like that I am now taking damage from his passive skills, probably, like legendary gems, and I'm almost dead. Oh, now he is dead. So, okay, it was almost failed because I almost died, but you can have a picture from the damage. And now let's move to the other Consecration. We are in slow motion mode again, and now it's time for testing our Radiant Consecration. And look at this. Whoa, what was that? I don't know. And look at the damage. Wow, and he is dead immediately, almost immediately. So Radiant Consecration looks very strong here. And now it's time for our last Lightning Consecration. So let's look on the damage output here, and look at this. The enemy is shocked, and wow, it was again so fast. So as you can see, it works well, and the damage output from all the Consecrations is very strong.
Now let's look how it works in real battle. So let's start my Elder Rift, and here yeah, you can see everything's dying immediately. Consecration burning them. Okay, so now I will be not pressing my other skills, only the Consecration. So let's do, yeah, and the damage output is quite good, as you can see. As you can see, everything is dying pretty quickly. Okay, let's finish the boss. So now let's press all my skills to be faster. And now boss is here. And let's wait a little bit, and I want to use only my Consecration to kill him. So we will see how it will work. And here is the damage. Of course my legendary gems procced and boss is dead. I couldn't even press any other of my skills. Let's run another Elder Rift to see how it works in real fight. So let's start with my horse and with my skills. Now the thing is that everything is dying immediately. So in fact I cannot see much difference. Maybe let me know if you see some difference here. But again, everything is dead immediately. As I said, the downside is that you have to hit your enemies, which we will see here versus the boss. Okay, I am going away to let my horse to be down for my horse, and now let's put only my Consecration. Now my leg gems proc and boss is dead. So it works. It worked really the same way as the previous Consecration Anointed Brimstone, and in general I like this Consecration Glamthorn Crown more than the Anointed Brimstone, because again it's not dealing damage to me, which sometimes is annoying, but it depends on you what you prefer more. Both of these Consecrations works well. And now let's look to the third one. Let's run the Elder Rift again. So let's start with my horse and with my Consecration. I am not pressing my other skills to see how it works, and again, as you can see, it works great. Now when I use all my skills, again everything is dying without problems. So even from this Consecration the damage output is enough. I am interested how it will look on the boss, but now let's finish this quickly. I like the effect from this Consecration the most, and right now I'm running it because I need some change. Okay, the boss is here, so let's wait for the cooldowns. I need to be down from my horse. Okay, here we go. Now let's defeat the boss. So how it will look. Okay, boss is hit. And boss is again dead immediately because my legendary gems did a lot of damage to her. It's time to make a conclusion which Consecration is the best. So the answer is not easy because it really depends what you prefer more, what fits you more. For me, the best one is the Lightning Consecration, and the reason is that I really like the visual effect of it, and the damage output is still enough for me. The second one is the Radiant Consecration, because the Radiant Consecration probably has the highest damage output, but on the other hand, the downside is that you have to hit your enemy 3 times to proc it. And on the last place for me is the Burning Consecration Anointed Brimstone, but it doesn't mean that this Consecration is bad. No, it's absolutely not. It works well, but what I really don't like about this Consecration is that when you put it on, it damaging to you, or you are damaging to itself, and it can interrupt you if you are opening something. So that's the reason why I don't like this Consecration, but in general every Consecration works well, and I hope that after this video you will be able to choose the right one for you, which will fit to best to your playstyle and your build.
So thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.